Has anybody ever heard of that show, American Idol?
Yes!
Yeah.
Did you guys know Trevor was on that show?
Oh my God!
Okay, I guess we don't. Nah, just kidding. So, Trevor, you know, I thought it'd be interesting for us to have a little conversation about your experience. Now, how far, in fact, did you make it?
Well, I competed in Hollywood, but unfortunately, I got cut in Hollywood.
You got cut.
Boo! You're supposed to boo there.
Would you vote for Trevor if you'd seen him on the show?
Yeah.
I think these kids like it.
Thank you.
So, what was it like to audition for the show? How did that work?
It was actually really interesting. You know, a lot of people, when you see the show, they stand in long lines and they go before the judges and they sing with some people and it's like this big deal. But for me, it was kind of weird because I actually got invited to be on American Idol, which was interesting. And I had an executive producer meeting, and so I skipped all the lines and went straight to a meeting. And yeah, and then the next time I auditioned was before the celebrity judges. You know, J-Lo, Keith Urban.
Whoa! Did you say? So you got to talk to them?
Yeah.
Who was your favorite judge?
Probably J-Lo.
Yeah.
She was really kind to me. She was the one that gave me a second chance. It was pretty cool.
She gave you a second chance. That's cool. So, what were some of the takeaways from your experience? You know, when you were kind of performing, were you nervous? How did you deal with that?
I was definitely nervous. It's interesting because you're kind of in a room with only a few people, but there's all these bright lights in your face, and you know there's like a whole crew of executive producers behind the bright lights, and all you can see is the judges, and they're just staring at you. And then there's like a whole room of other people behind them also staring at you, but they're all in the dark, so it's kind of creepy. It's like when you watch one of those shows where somebody who committed a crime is being interviewed and their face is all dark. That's kind of how it was with the producers just watching me in the background. It was freaky. And then to know there's like all these cameras and they're all moving around and like all this crazy stuff. It was intense.
Wow, wow. So were there things that you were kind of learning from that experience that helped you develop professionally?
Absolutely. I think it helped my confidence and my nerves a lot to just realize that it didn't matter. Whatever happened, happened. And at the end of the day, it was just a TV show, whether I continued or not.
That's cool. So I'll bet you there's some young people in here who have aspirations to do what you're doing. Anybody in here want to sing, make music? Yeah. A few people? Yeah. What advice would you have for these young bucks, these young future talents in America? What do you say?
The best advice I would have to give is just don't stop. If you want to be in music, practice every day and learn your trade well. And there's no replacement for real talent. So just working hard and practice and honing your abilities so that when people hear one of the songs that I did for the judges on American Idol. Okay, but if you know the song, I need you to sing it with me, okay?
Unfamiliar road,
guys. That was beautiful.
Clap.
Okay, well, I sang that song for them, and they weren't crazy about it, so I sing another one. You may have seen this one on the U of Tubes, and I see this life like a swinging vine, swing my heart across the line, in my face a flashing sign. We shall find gold, but not that gold, young, but not that gold. I don't think the world is sold, we're just doing what we're told. I feel something so wrong, doing the right thing. I feel something so right, doing the wrong thing. Could I? 'Cause
Everything that kills me makes me feel alive.
and lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. And baby, I've been praying hard, said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars.
Yeah,
That was awesome. Give yourself a hand.
You guys enjoying yourself?
yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna play a game with you, and it's called Stand Up If. It's a really simple game. I'm gonna say something, and if you agree with what I say, then you stand up. For instance, let's do a really easy one, a simple one to get started. If you like Instagram more than Twitter, stand up.
Definitely. Wow.
Alright, where's all my boys at? If you're a boy, stand up. Some of you are confused. Alright, sit down.
Okay, if you like football more than basketball, stand up. That's good.
Not bad. Sit down. Alright, if you like Nike more than Reebok, stand up. My goodness, that's hilarious. Someone's like Wire. He doesn't like Nikes.
Okay, if you have done a dab in the last 3 days, stand up. Dab it forever.
Hashtag dad for life.
If you prefer listening to Trevor, then go into class. Stand up. I think Mrs. Ingram stood up.
Okay, so if you have ever in your life made a choice that you knew wasn't the right choice to make, and you should have done something different, stand up.
Oh yeah.
So, just talk to you for a minute about choices. And, you know, one of the things that we do at Life Hacks is we love to One of the things we like to do is we like to talk to young people about choices, not just in terms of what we want to do with our lives, although that is very important, but also the way that we arrive at making things happen is important too. Let me explain. You know, right now you're in middle school. What is this, 7th and 8th grade? Is that what you said? 7? And some of you get ready to go to high school pretty soon. I know, it's super scary. I know. I get anxiety every time I come back to middle school and high school to do these assemblies. So I can't imagine. I think back to when I made those transitions in high school. It was a very, very scary time. And then 4 years after that, which sounds like a lot, but it actually goes by very quickly. You're going to be thinking about college. You're going to be thinking about career. You're going to be thinking about so many things. And for so many of you, you're at the age right now where all these ideas are forming. You're being exposed to lots and lots of different things. And you're trying to figure out who you want to be, where you want to go, and all that stuff is very, very important, and it's a big part of your development. But the problem is, right now, graduation couldn't seem further away. To be honest, you guys lack experience. And you desperately need to learn and develop and mature. That's just a fact. It's true. But you're going to need help along the way. This stuff doesn't come always naturally. I know we watched Trevor up here and his voice. And it's so easy. He makes it look easy. But this stuff takes a lot of work. And the future doesn't happen by accident when you're trying to be successful. I mean, you can let life happen to you, but if you're going to really take hold of your future, that means you're going to have to put things in place and do a lot of deep thinking and planning. There's an ancient proverb that says, without vision, people perish. What do you think that means? You with your hand up. Go ahead, yell. Well, I don't know about famous because there's lots of people who have dreams. I have dreams and I'll probably never be famous. I think what it means is that if you don't have a direction with your life and you're not growing, you're dying. And that's just a fact. Things that are not growing, you're dying. And so without a vision for your life is either passing you by or you're kind of stepping into life and shaping and framing the way that your future will go. And that's what choices are all about. And the difference between someone who has dreams for the future and someone who has a real clear vision is that their vision seems to have legs, like it's moving somewhere. It's not just an idea in their mind. It's a destination. Does that make sense? The other thing is, when you have a vision for your life, a big idea, it causes a dissatisfaction with where you are today. That vision needs to be so big and so compelling that it causes you to squirm in your seat, that you don't want to stay here anymore. In fact, over there, where your vision is, needs to be so compelling that it drives you to have legs to move towards that destination. Does that make sense? And how many people know that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line? Being able to map out where you want to go and think about the mile markers along the way will help drive you towards the place that you want to go. The choices define our future, and the choices you make today are going to determine where you are tomorrow. That's a